have conditions for literally every person, every position that's going to be in my life. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, click that subscribe button, like this video, or you can wait till the end if you want. I respect it, I get it. If you're a returning subscriber, you already know the vibes. Thank you for coming back. Today's video is gonna be a little different, getting straight into it. This is an idea that I've kind of been doing, so let me just explain. A couple years ago, I started doing this thing on Snapchat where I would ask a question, typically like a deeper question or philosophical question, and then I would have people answer it, and then they'd swipe up with their answer with a show or cover. Then I would post it on my story, and it would either show their name or it wouldn't show their name, depending on if they said show or cover. People would just kind of respond to those responses, or they would just kind of answer based off of it or whatever. And it was really fun. I like doing it. I do it because I love hearing people's different opinions on topics. And it's just really interesting to hear different point of views, different perspectives, because they always end up changing my thought process a little bit. At the end, I usually post my answer on my story, and then, you know, everyone looks at it, whatever. I decided, you know, why not turn this into a video type thing? Because I was trying to figure out content and stuff, and I was like, you know what, this is something I like doing. So let's try to turn it into a video, you feel me? So yeah, without further ado, as y'all can see by this title, today we're going to be answering the question, does unconditional love exist? I'm very excited for this question. Thank you to the people who answered. I appreciate it a lot. I'll post their answers on the screen and I'll read it out loud. When I first got these answers, I read them briefly and then I just gave everyone a quick thank you. But this time I'm gonna actually process it. Y'all gonna watch me process it live out here. I'm using my sister's phone because my phone's recording. I screenshotted the answers, so let's just get straight into it. All right, so first one, this is a cover. This is what it says. I've actually never been in a relationship before, so I don't have personal experience, but in my opinion, anyone can cheat. I was vacationing in Miami on this boat ride, and this 20-something-year-old girl started flirting with a married guy, and she said she was married and had 2 kids but was hitting on him. Her husband was at home. And it honestly made me realize you can never truly trust people in this world when it comes to dating and marriage, because sometimes you really never know what they're doing behind your back, and if you already have kids with them, good luck. Okay, so this one was more of a romantic approach, but yeah, I definitely agree with this person, because honestly, you really can never truly know a person's intentions, and at the end of the day, as tough as it is, you really don't know what someone can do behind your back. I mean, I think that was definitely how old me used to process and think about things, but I feel like currently I try to avoid that way of thinking, just because if that's the case, then I would really never trust anyone ever again. And you know, as someone who already has so many trust issues, and you know, on top of that being a Virgo with a Scorpio rising, you know, it's just not a lot of trust in there. So why would I stress myself out even more? So I try to be a little bit more open about it and think that, you know, yes, anything can happen, but also I don't know if that's a reason anymore for me to not try to at least put my trust in someone, because that would just lead to a lonely life and not trusting people. And that's kind of where I feel like I was headed before. But I don't know, this past year I've been doing a lot of thinking and self-reflecting, and you know, a lot of looking at the things that I used to think before and adjusting my beliefs and stuff. So yeah, I feel like that's where I feel about this answer. But thank you for the answer to the person who sent this on in. Okay, so the next response, this one, they didn't say show a cover, so I'll ask them. So this person said, honestly, in my opinion, no. In terms of intimate relationships, there's just some things that people do in a relationship that is just beyond repairable. Also in society, I feel like the thinking there's more than one fish in the sea destroys all relationships. But in terms of family, I feel like the unconditional love is always there. Even if y'all not speaking, you still love them. Okay, so this person separated, or is kind of looking at love on a romantic versus familial way. And I understand why, because obviously it's a different display of the love, but I don't even know if I really believe that there are 2 different types of love necessarily. I feel like love, well, first of all, there's no concrete definition for what the word love means, right? We know that. I've had a lot of conversations in this past year about love, and is there really a difference between family love versus romantic love? Like I've just said, there's not a real definition for it, but the way I define love, I would say it's just when you think of a person and deciding to put them before you in certain situations, if it came down to it, would you want I don't know how to say this, because it's not that you'd want them to be happier than you. I don't know. I guess for me to say I love someone, which I don't really say often, honestly, even within family, it's not that I don't love them, I just don't say the word. I don't know, like I have a weird relationship with the word, but I guess love would be to me like when you think about someone and you just genuinely just want them to be happy, you want nothing but success, you just want them to be great, to be healthy, and like you are consciously making the decision to prioritize this person in your life, you know, whether that is platonically or in a familial way. But I don't know if there's necessarily separation is my whole point, so that's not even really relevant to the answer, but that's just what comes to my mind when I hear this answer. Okay, this is leading into my point. I think I've said this before on this channel, but I don't think I could take back a cheater. So there definitely are some things in a romantic relationship that I think would make it unrepairable. I believe that in the family setting, there can also be things that are done to you that are also extremely problematic and unrepairable. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I know a lot of people believe blood is thicker than water, but honestly, that could be another question. So stay tuned for that. All right, so we're just gonna move on to the next answer. All right, so the next answer. This is Joanne. She said, I don't think truly unconditional love exists. I think everyone has some sort of line that if crossed, they will cease to love the person. It may be as small as saying something dumb, or it could take something as huge as committing a crime or a huge breach of trust. But everyone has conditions that will make it so that even if it hurts, they will end up not loving someone anymore. The concept of unconditional love is a myth. Okay, I very much so appreciate this answer because this is more towards my opinion on it, which again I'll be giving at the end of this video, or maybe I didn't say that, but that's what I'm gonna do. So just like when I used to do it on my Snap story, I'm gonna read all these answers and then I'm gonna give my kind of more in-depth answer at the end. But no, yeah, I definitely agree because I feel like we are human and we definitely do have our limits. So I'll just say that for now. Let's move on to the next answer. All right, so this is Michelle. And she says, in terms of God, yes, but among people, no. It's a nice sentiment, and I'm sure some people think they love unconditionally. But when it comes down to it, there's always a limit, and most people don't know what the limit is until the situation arises. Like you could love your sibling unconditionally, then they go and do the unimaginable, which makes you start to kind of hate them. Like if you're envying someone, but still say you love them, is it really love at that point, for real? IDK, just my opinion. And I very much so agree with your opinion. Like I just said, I think everyone does have that line, and I don't know if there can really be a situation where you could really straight up say that no matter what, you know, like it's unconditional, like I'm gonna love you forever, period. Like I don't know, like I think I really agree with her because she said that it's a good sentiment, but does it really exist? I don't know. In my opinion, is not the end all be all. So whatever I say doesn't matter because y'all can still have different opinions. All right, next answer. They replied on my Instagram because I posted it on my Instagram story as well. I'll probably be doing it on Snapchat and Instagram from now on, so be on the lookout for those. I might try to do the weekly thing, but no promises. But you know, that's even more reason to just always watch my story. I always just post good stuff too, so it's either like factual stuff. Why did I like almost like fictional? It's either factual stuff or like, you know, just pretty people. So yeah. Follow me on Instagram and stay tuned. This person says, unconditional love exists once you wrap your head around the fact that you don't have to like someone to love them. And this one was very spicy because I like it, but I don't know if I agree with it personally. I've been kind of struggling with that idea of not liking someone but loving them. I don't know, like I don't necessarily think that love and like are a separate like feeling. Like is obviously a more subtle version of love, but I don't really understand how you can love someone without liking them. Am I wrong for that? If I defined love earlier in the way I did, and I said that it's thinking about somebody and just wanting the best for them and just wishing them success and seeing them and just genuinely being happy for them, with them, around their energy, then how can you feel all that towards somebody but not even like them, which is a step down? Again, this is just my opinion, but that's kind of how I see it. I don't know, but I mean, if we are gonna separate love and like, then I think that this answer does make a lot of sense. I mean, I know when people say it, they mean it in the sense as like, yeah, you might get on my nerves, but like, you know, I still love you at the end of the day. But I feel like getting on someone's nerves every once in a while and loving them, like, I don't think you don't like that person. You still love them. You like them as a human being, but maybe they just made you a little upset in whatever situation it was. I don't know again, if you can genuinely say full-hearted, like, I do not like this person at all though, but I love them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's where I kind of stand on that one. So let's go ahead and move on to the next answer. I'm pretty sure this is the second to last one, and then I'll just kind of go into like my original thinking when I made this question. All right, so this one is from my homie Amari. Amari says, basically everyone's love has limits. It sounds bad and I wish there was such a thing as unconditional love, but the word sucks. LMAO, as in why, for example, when kids' parents literally don't love their children anymore, or people who fall out of love with others that were their world. IDK, it's hard to put yourself in people's shoes, like how can you not love blah blah blah, and it's hard to digest, but yeah. This, again, is very more closer to my genuine opinion. Like I said, and like a lot of people have said before this, I think everyone does have that limit. It's kind of hard to imagine you really said no, like nothing could change my mind about you, you know what I mean? So with that being said, let's move on to our final response. So this person said, so I think that in the broad sense of our existence as people and spirits, that unconditional love does exist. I don't think I would say that it really always exists within a relationship between two other people. But it's possible. I think people have different ways of showing love, but the thing about unconditional love is that it should really only be an inward thing. Like the reason you make certain friendships, the reason you cut people off, the reason you drink, the reason you pray, the reasons for you doing whatever you do have to do with you, at least first and foremost. In both self-care and self-harm, I think at the intersection of the extremities of those spaces, deep down there's a love for ourselves that we can't break. We have to let it power us, and that will give it more power. Now that being said, unconditional love with others can still be dangerous, codependency. I'm doing this because I love you, etc. But that doesn't mean it can't turn into something else. Like you can still take care of others. Let them make their own choices. Allow them to make mistakes and grow, while still loving them because they deserve love, I guess. I love the question mark at the end, this whole philosophy thing, and then I guess. But thank you for your answer. Now I have to like reread that and process that, high key. So forgive me if I interpret this wrong, but like this is a lot, and thank you for your long answer, but you know, this is more digesting than I've had to do tonight, but I really appreciate this, and I feel like I need to give this the time it needs to like soak this in. So I'm just like rereading this. What I think you're trying to say, yeah, so the unconditional love is really like an inward thing for yourself, like, and if you decide to love someone else, it's because you love yourself enough, I guess, to be in that relationship, or you think that it's a relationship that is fulfilling and like rewarding, and you love yourself, so you're giving yourself that relationship. I think that's what you're trying to say. Okay, I like that. In both self-care and self-harm, I think at the intersection of the extremities of those spaces, deep down there's a love for ourselves that we can't break. Like, maybe, again, this is my interpretation, but are you trying to say that the reason to self-harm and to self-love is just because of the love that we have for ourselves? So like, I guess maybe on the self-harm end, it would be because you love yourself too much to go through like the pain that you're going through. Like, I don't know, that's an interesting way to think about it. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say, but that's how I'm reading it. And if that's the case, then like that's a very interesting way to think about that, and I really appreciate this level of thinking. Like, wow. I'm not too sure what you mean though by but that doesn't mean it can't turn into something else. So when I recorded this, which was about 2 months ago, but don't mind that, I think I was really overthinking that part, and I was really struggling to understand what that part meant. But after rereading it now, I think what he was just trying to say was that, like he said, sometimes unconditional love for someone else can become toxic, because if it becomes like codependency and you're saying that you're only doing certain things out of love for someone else, then that can become problematic. And I think he was just saying that, but there is the potential for that to develop into something healthier later on, regardless of what that can be or what that meant. But yeah, I think I was really overthinking it, and I continued to confuse myself for like the next minute. So just ignore that. Enjoy the rest. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little stumped by this last part. I don't know, my English brain is kind of turned off right now. But I think overall, you're just more focusing on the self-love aspect, and that unconditional love exists for yourself more than it does between two people. And in that case, like I've been saying this whole time, like I think that's a very unique way to think about this question. and I appreciate that out of the box perspective. Honestly, I wasn't even ready to answer this question like this or to think about it in this way. So thank you. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm up to your speed right now. Like, I hope I've interpreted that partially right. I think maybe next time I'll actually ask for clarification beforehand if I have a situation like this. You know, we're learning, we're trying, starting off new things. So yeah, I think that's where I'm at for this one. Thank you for your answer though. I really do appreciate it. All right, and oh, was that the last answer? All right, so that was the last answer. I don't know why I thought there was like way more, but now I guess it's time for me to kind of give my take on it. So I've basically been giving it all throughout this video, but I'll just say how I like first wanted to, like what I would have written down if I was responding, I suppose. So does unconditional love exist? In simple terms, no, I don't think it does. And here's why I say that, because you could fall in love with somebody, right? Like, let's take it from the point of view as someone who's maybe watching this and they're in love right now and they're like, what do you mean? Like, why is everyone being so negative? I'm in a happy relationship, I'm in love, and I love this person unconditionally, and I love this person like because, you know, like this, that, and that. My question to you would then be, before you got into this relationship, did this person not have to meet certain conditions for you to get into the relationship? So we're starting off on a romantic point of view, and I can get into family later too, but speaking specifically in the romantic way, right? Yeah, the question I just posed. I would love to think, like a lot of people said, it's a great sentiment. I would love to think that I can get into a relationship, or even platonically, let's say like a friend. I could find a friend that I love so much, and like I just wish nothing but the best for them, and I just love them, and I just want to give them my all, and I just want the best for them, and I would put like them before me. I would care about them before even thinking about myself. I wish I could say all that stuff based off of no conditions, but realistically I can't. I wouldn't say I'm a picky person. I feel like I'm very chill. Like, I kind of vibe with everyone. Like, as long as you're good vibes, I'm good vibes, we're vibing, you know? But that doesn't mean that I can let anyone into my life and into my space and into my energy. I have conditions for literally every person, every position that's going to be in my life. For friends, you have to meet certain conditions. For romantic partner, you definitely have to meet certain conditions. And for family to be allowed to stay in my life, as much as we can say, yeah, like it's family before everything, you have to meet certain conditions to be able to proceed. Because I'm grown now, I'm not 5 anymore. What you say to me can't just be brushed off or just passed off as, oh, it's okay, love your family. Like, I personally don't believe in that. I feel like respect needs to be given both ways. Obviously, if I'm still respecting you and you're still respecting me, we're good. But if you treat me in a way that is lesser or just bad just because, oh, well, that's just my niece, or that's just my cousin, that's just whatever, you know, I don't play that personally. And I know some of y'all will agree, some of y'all won't, and I get that, but that's just where I stand on that. So to circle back, yes, do I believe in unconditional love? Not necessarily, because we have conditions. Like, as humans, we like to box people, we like to group people into things. It's psychology, it's human nature. Like, we can't run away from that. That's just how it is. And again, it sounds a little like messed up, like Amari was saying, but it's the truth, I think, at the end of the day. Like, if you were someone who is very goal driven, very ambitious, and you want to start your own business, or you just want to, like, you know, work your way up to management, you want to like become like a corporate person or whatever, right? I mean, I'm not speaking for you, but I feel like that type of personality, that type of, you know, person wouldn't be able to get along with someone who's lazy, who's, you know, not really trying to find more for themselves, or just doesn't really care about things. It's kind of just a go with the flow person, you know. They could be the sweetest person though. They could have a good heart genuinely, and maybe they meet somewhere randomly and they're like, oh, that's a good person, like that was a chill vibe. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to go become in a relationship now, or like pursue something past that. And from that other person's perspective, that lazy person, they could just be someone who's really chill, down to earth, doesn't really mess with all the earthly stuff. I honestly am right in the middle. But maybe there's someone who's just more on like the vibing or just like the nomad lifestyle. In their head, they're like, oh, look at this person who's just obsessed with the earth stuff and the money and like the materialistic stuff. Deep down, they're a good person too, and maybe they have a conversation and they meet somewhere random and it's like a good vibe, and they, you know, it's good. That doesn't mean that they need to take it any further though and try to, you know, make it a thing, because I don't think that either of them will be able to love the other person unconditionally. There's always going to be that other thing about them that they don't like. Like, the person who's ambitious is going to be like, I just wish that other person, you know, had a little bit more drive in them and just wanted more for themselves. person B will look at person A and be like, I just wish that they just didn't care about the materialistic stuff so much and about the possessions. I wish that they were more down to earth or whatever, you know? I think that's perfectly fine. I say this all the time. This is not relationship advice, but just honestly, like, bottom of the line, two people can be great separately or with other people, but they're just not great for each other, and I think that's perfectly fine. I've said that before in my relationship video, or no, I didn't make a relationship video, did I? I did. Relationship unpopular opinions. My bad, I forgot. But whatever. That's not the point. The point is what I just said. So yeah, I already mentioned the familial stuff too. If you don't see me as an equal human being as you, then I don't know, the love is honestly gone at that point. I just take respect and all that stuff very important. I want you to see me as another human being. Just because I'm younger than you, or just because whatever the reason may be, maybe I believe different things in you, does not mean that you can drag me through the dirt or disrespect me or just devalue my humanity. You know, we're people at the end of the day. We are people at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, I said at the end of the day like 5 times. We are people at the end of the day, and everyone deserves mutual respect. So if you don't respect me, I don't respect you, and I don't believe. But at the end of the day, I'll always love them because we share 10% the same DNA or whatever. Like I don't abide by that. So that's just my personal opinion. I almost forgot. I think it was Michelle. You said unconditional love may not exist for man, but it does for God. I like that idea. Like I said, humans, we really can't do unconditional love, but I think greater energy, like the universe, all that stuff, I think that's where that abundance of love does remain. I think if we can tap into that energy, then we can love to the best of our ability. But I don't think that on our own we can just produce such an immense amount of love. Now, I personally don't identify as religious, but I do believe in a greater being, a greater energy and stuff, and I think that that love for us is unconditional, so I appreciate that answer. But yeah, so that's where I stand on that. Again, I appreciate that answer. So yeah, I think this concludes my video. Honestly, I thought I was gonna end up talking way longer, but I'm happy I didn't end up recording for like 5 hours. Thank you so much everyone who sent in their answers. Again, I will be doing this as frequently as possible, if not every week, every 2 weeks at like most distance apart. I know I've been slacking, even though I'm on my winter break, but you know, your girl's just been you know, doing what you gotta do. But you know, I'm back on it, so let me know if you guys like these types of videos. I think I really enjoy this. I feel like I'm gonna really have a field day with these videos because I genuinely love talking about stuff like this. I hope you guys are interested in this. I feel like I'm gonna post it regardless, honestly, just for because I know some people will like it and I know I do. So make sure to tune into my next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. You know how much I love you guys. Oh my god, sorry. If you're new here, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you hadn't liked this or subscribed already, now's the time. I think you'll like this video. I don't know, I feel like if you're here, you probably liked it, because why would you watch it this long if you didn't, you know what I'm saying? My returning subscribers, like this, share this. Everyone can share it, matter of fact. Share this to other people, whoever you think might like it. If you like deep conversations, go ahead and, you know, turn off the lights, sit in bed, get cozy, and listen to me talk some philosophy with y'all. It's the psych major in me. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding. All right, thank you guys, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Okay, something in there has to be good enough.